Hello there. Oh, it's late. I am tired, but I want to play WoW, and I figured why not just stream it, because why not? Let me just get the screen on. It's probably gonna be a bit of a shorter stream. Basically, I just have some dailies I want to get done before. I think Wednesday night is the world reset, so I kind of want to get those things done before it. Those things include some of the meta quests, such as just completing a few more delves, and I think that's more or less it. So I think that's just what we're gonna do. Yes, why not? Let's see, which delves do we even have? Going to be doing some of the bountiful ones. So we have the excavation site 9. We also have something in Hallowfall. Let's go do this one actually. I've been doing that one a lot because it was a very good way initially to farm the tinder boxes that you use for some crafting things. How are you all doing today? It's been a weird day for me. I basically just slept the entire day. Whoopsies. But I also decided to purchase a new graphics card. Because there was a sale which meant that it was a lower price. Of course, see, that's what sales usually mean. But it kind of like had a campaign where it was 6% off, which doesn't sound like a lot, but still, I mean, with the prices being that, like, at the cost they are, 6% is actually fairly decent. And Monster Hunter Wilds was coming with it as well, so yeah. So I purchased a gigabyte 7800 XT. So yeah, that's gonna be so good. And then I'm basically done with my computer updates, apart from getting some new hard drives eventually. But I am not really in any rush getting that at all. Yeah. It's gonna be so nice to finally get the computer fully upgraded. Alright. You might have a little bit of a tough time with this because I'm going to be doing it on tier 11. Because then I can get these and they reset weekly and I kinda need them. I am severely underleveled for this, but hey, we managed to complete a tier 11 yesterday? I streamed yesterday, right? We definitely, however, need to change Bran to a healer. Otherwise, it's gonna be terrible. Let's see, maybe maybe this one. Get something to take the attention.
Well, spit it out.
I'll recover your weapons. Alright, we're starting out with an elite. Well, which is really kind of nice because if I can't defeat this, well, we're not gonna get any far anyway, so let's just pop all our things. And then we go. Do not stand in that, because that would definitely kill me. And my mirror images are gone. That's kind of the point of having them, so that they take some of the attention. So far so good. What's the task even here? We need to get some stockpiled things apparently.
Smell that? It's treasure. I
And
know
to
it.
do
We're close.
that, we have to go into a cannon. That sounds safe. But yeah, I'm trying to set up a proper schedule as well. I feel like I've been saying that so many times, I just failed to do it. It would not necessarily be a schedule in terms of I would be streaming at this exact time, but I'm also try to be a little bit more consistent. It's gonna hurt. Trying to be a bit more consistent with the days I stream. Shit hurts a lot.
Helps are coming.
Days that kind of work for me would be Mondays and Thursdays, as a general rule of thumb. Weekends are a little bit weird, but I can usually do them at like midnight, after midnight, like I'm doing right now. That usually works a bit. But yeah, it would be nice if I could just, you know, stream in the evenings and not in the middle of the night. Not that I really have anything to do in the morning, but just try to have some semblance of being a proper functional person. And then again, why would I want to be that? Oh, everything hurts so much.
Hang in there.
Bran, heal. Heal. Please. He did it, just a little bit too late. And I accidentally pulled some more. I'm sure we'll be fine there. I mean, what's the point of having cauterize if you're not using it, right? But yeah, Brown as a healer is definitely what I need to do. Unfortunately, he's just very inconsistent because the healing basically relies on you picking up these potions that he drops, and sometimes he decides to drop them inside where the enemy put things you should not touch at all. So that's not very helpful when he does that. And sometimes he just straight up do not put them out for you. So you just kind of stand there like, run, please. I need heal. Oh, I'm about to die. It's fine though. I do not have any second chances though.
Next time, let's use some
Oh well.
hard hitting moves.
Right, so use some harder hitting moves, you don't fucking say. I am doing my best. Maybe we can try to kind of like... Still got all in all. Hurts a lot. Yep, healing potions, please. I'm not turning you into a cat. That does seem to work. Oh, never mind. No longer a cat. Yeah, it's not gonna work out.
Don't go dying on me.
Oh well. I just skipped that group for now then.
I'm out of range.
You on the other hand, you can become a cat and then we destroy your friends. We can definitely do this, I just need to play a bit more careful. I mean, this group here is definitely weaker, so they're less of an issue. Try to not break the polymorph. Now we can break it. This guy seems a little bit tougher than the others. That's fine, we got him doing. Can we pull the crap without the others? Nice, that's a deselected target. It's not very helpful. Let's get rid of this guy first. Nope, stop that. I did not get to do that in time. That's okay though. Ow. Oh shit, that hurts. Run, heal. I think I need to use this. I do not have the talent that allows me to stack. That's a nice block. Okay, if we just hide it a bit, then I'm sure it will be perfectly fine. That is one of the strengths fire mages have. I think mages in general actually, but especially fire mages are very good at hiding. Right. We got him, kinda. Do we even need to go up here actually? I think it might be fine just going down here. Maybe. Let me just get to boot off. I just realized I did not put Arcane Intellect on. Would have been very nice for that extra damage. There we go. If we make the Executor a cat, then we can take the Initiates. And once we get the Initiates down, then we can go for the Executor. I think that may have hit the Executor, but did not break the bow anymore, so that's fine. No step, please. No. Okay, can we take the Inquisitor maybe? And focus on the shade? Spending all these at once is a little bit dicey. Awesome. Just gonna take it nice and slow, be a bit meticulous about it. That's how we get through it. no step. Okay. Now we can take the Inquisitor here. Oh wow. They cast a Shadow Barrier to do absolutely nothing. I love that though. So much fire. Oh, did I mean to actually cast the Fire Blast there? But oh well. It's actually also good because I am in need of more cloth. Because Taylor. I always need more cloth.
It's too far away.
I know I have quite a lot of the Golden Weaver cloth, but I am so close to being able to guarantee getting it to basically like unravel. I am so close. Like I need 450 and I have 444. Basically if I upgrade this to a rare, then I can do it. Basically. So it just feels like a waste of resources to do it before that. Hang on, I have to do that. I froze them in place inside of the meteor because that meant they would actually get hit by it. The alternative was that they were going to storm off. Which meant they would not get hit. These will not get mission. I think it's fine. How many more Nemesis groups are left? 2 more. We need to defeat those. Boom. I hope I know where they are though. That's not I am just considering what I actually want to do, whether I actually want to fight the enemies or not. On one hand, I do need the resources they drop. On the other hand, time and risk. Let me just make it nice and easy. It should be fine then. Boom. There we go. We could basically just complete it now if we wanted to. But now I should just make that into a cat again. Just refreshing the building more. Because I don't need to fight 2 enemies when I can fight 1. I say as I break the building mob. Hopefully if it's still alive. That's okay though. That. Let's just take that one out. I just straight up be able to do that. Then we only have to do this guy for a short one. Okay. Then we can take out the other Arazeena. Nice. I do wonder where all the nemesis. There's one up here. Just taking the hopes, seeing that out. Polymorph and then just fight this guy. So I just really liked him standing close to the polymorphed enemy because the meteor poisons could potentially have broken it. I love all those small dinosaurs just stomping in. Holy shit, they do lots of damage actually. Go dinosaurs, attack! Uh-oh. Just kind of standing there. I want the buff, please. We're not gonna go in and club out the weeping shade, but I mean, might as well just defeat it because we can. Just for the sake of completion. Yeah, nothing of interest, but that's okay.
Here's your take of the spoils!
Thanks, Bram, I guess. Double meteor!
Treasure close by.
Let's just move out away from that. I'm not really doing a whole lot of damage to the egg. There we go. Nice. I kill these fools. Focus one down at a time. These enemies are not that bad to deal with, actually. Also, I have a feeling the dinosaurs are definitely making this a lot more
I need to
trivial.
rest after that one.
Kill these as
I
well.
need to get closer.
Might be close, so might as well just. Uh-oh. That hurt. We should be fine. Just barely though, but I should have just stolen that. Oh well. There's my crits. I am not gonna touch that treasure. It is cursed. anti-enemy triggers can be very, very mean. I have fallen. Heal. I feel like I keep falling down. That one, and then this one. Okay. At least we still have cauterize. Because that means if I do mess up against the boss, then I do get a free pass. Okay. We steal that. We're not stunning those. Oh, that's not ideal. Let's see. Deals so much damage. Oh, rip that meteor. Just gonna snatch that. Very happy if Rank would drop another egg. I'm very, very happy.
It's not ready.
But it's fine, we got it. Boom. Oh. Not good. Two bosses, that's not ideal at all. That's fine, we'll just defeat them both. That's easy. Just trying to inflict death. I do not like the sound of that at all. Ow. That hurt. Just do this. Right, I need those eggs out. Okay, we have combustion now, everything should be fine. Boom, we did it. Easy. I'm going to get some nice loot from this. Some quests. Maybe on the quests I have 2k.
That's more like it. Now I'm making progress.
Oh, this is so typical. Let's see, what did we get? We got a wand. That's... I mean, it could be worse, but
That's more like it.
we don't really need that. Yeah, that's typical, because like, the curio I'm actually using, this one, that's the only one I haven't gotten a single upgrade for. Which is a little bit ironic, considering the others are basically full leveled. Alright. I need to do 2 more delves. Where are the other delves? There's one here. Skittering Breach. What's that? It's the Brown Belt quest. I do wonder, since I can only really get the crest reward from tier 11 once more. We need to do 2 more delves. Should I just do the second one at tier 10? Decisions. Ow. That's a wall. It's this one.
We are the warriors of the sacred flame.
We're just gonna take out the smaller packs. And then once we get our what's it called? Combustion back up, then we take the drill sergeant. There goes Forge Rice. Not ideal. Should be able to just take out this one without any issue, and then combustion should be back up, more or less. There we go. Alright, and combustion is back up. This is going pretty well. There we go. These don't spawn enemies, right? I don't think they do. Actually, I hope they do not.
I'm out of range.
To get that, I might as well just pop the mirror images. Just because why not? everything hurts a lot.
Got your back.
Okay, that was not very clean, but hey, we lived. That's what matters. I don't want to go in there, apparently. What if I do? Wait, it's... Is that a mech or something? Like, it looks like it's just a hobgoblin, but at the same time it also looks a bit mech. Nah, it just has some cast iron looking armor. Cool. Like, let's hope we did not want to go in here, so let's go in here. This was not so bad in here as they made it out to be. That little parasite is spewing blood at me. It's gross. And wasteful. Okay, close that. And now we press onwards, I guess. That's a big thing. As long as they're hitting Brang, I'm happy, because that means I'm not into the line of fire. Unless he jumps over to me, of course. Nah, he'll be fine. There's a bomb trying to get onto me.
I don't have a target.
Do not want that.
Give me a moment, child.
Ah, you're fine, bro. Right. Let's get that. There's Mystic Curiosity here, I think. Yeah. We even got a Cola thingy. This might get a little bit dicey. I will say though, they'll feel easier in second season than it did in the first season.
I need to get closer.
Most of it, however, comes down to just straight up enemies not one-shotting you. Because the enemies dealt so much damage in the first season. They still do, but not that horrible. It was kind of like to the point where if I got hit by an enemy, I would expect to take like 70% of my damage, like my health and damage. It's just kind of like, well, how am I supposed to do anything then? Take kind of like, you really had to make sure that Brad was tanking everything for you. And he did not have tank spec either, which made things even worse in that regard. He does have a tank spec now, but it's not that good at the higher levels as far as I'm aware. I think it worked pretty well up until tier 8, and then it started to be a little bit rough. Onwards.
I'm out of range.
We can send that into a cloud. Oh, hope he did not pull the big one. I think it's 5 blaster should be fine. There you go. Please do not gore me. No steppy steppy. Just straight up ignoring me. I think I have to kill it though. I think it's basically just a destructible environmental hazard, basically. I just kind of leave this trial behind it. Let's see, we need to maybe go back there, but is it only one? Is. We can take that without even getting our cooldown back up. He's a bit upset though. Uh-oh, mind the blob. I don't think the blob's aggro.
I need to target something first.
Yeah, it just has a weird pathing. We like that though. Yeah, let's just get our clones out. So I love Ignite so much. Like I'm dealing about 200k damage per second, just as damage over time effect. Because why not? You find this thing there. It just vanished. use my combustion rated for those, but at the same time, I mean, they're basically dead, so... Let's get rid of this one first, and then this one. There we go. And now we can deal with this last guy. Yeah, it's too close. Nice. That's pretty clean. If I have to say so myself.
Smell that? It's treasure. I know it. We're close.
Ron can smell treasure.
It's too far away.
There's a hovering menace as well. Pretty good amount of damage. Got like triple combustion going as well. Oh. I am very fortunate. They hit something. Nice. Callous that increases haste. I like the sound of that. Also, one thing I want to do is I currently have the Duskweave armor set, which does grant me haste. And I mean, haste is pretty good for fire mages, but I already have so many things that gives me just haste randomly, basically. So I was considering creating the... where is it? I think it's in Dawn Thread? This one. Wearing this spray is changes the effect of the Dusk Thread lining, or wearing Dusk Thread to become Dawnweave instead. And Dawnweave gives Mastery. Now why do I want Mastery? I want Mastery because that increases my Ignite damage. And I really do enjoy having that huge damage over time. It's very fun to me. But one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is that the Duskweave is focused on dealing damage, and the Dawnweave is focused on healing. As a mage, obviously I can't really do a lot of healing. I can eat a cookie and that's about it. But I can't do that in combat, so... ow. So I'm just wondering if I were to get those Dawn phrases, or whatever they're called, Sunless Dawn, I don't know. Do they just change it to be... uh-oh. I need to run. Do they change it to be Mastery instead of Haste, but still be combat-based, or do they change it to straight up be as if I had the Dawnweave? I'm actually going to be testing it out on my Priest, because I mean, I primarily play healer as a Priest, so I have the Dawnweave Club. But when I'm questing and such, I just use Shadow Priest. cast more damage. So I guess I can figure it out that way. Because it would kind of make sense if that set piece, like if you change the set bonus, because then you could have the set and use it for both healing or for DPS if you just equip that with item. But I'm not entirely certain how it works. So. Holy shit, everything hurts. I'm fine. Almost died though. Let's get rid of these first. I'll always focus down one thing at a time. That was actually very nice. The ice broke just as they charged. Because then they charged into their friend. Yeah, they just burn to death because they ignite. I love that. But like, imagine if I didn't have the ability to get 30 seconds of I don't even know how much. 2k more, maybe? Do you even want that? Maybe. Like, this does give me a buff. Hi Fix, how are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, it doesn't look very secret when it's just like a huge treasure chest and then it's like brimming with void magic as well. That does seem a little bit suspicious to me.
I need to rest after that one.
How are you doing? What have you been up to?
Nice fight!
I'm just doing some delves. You just got home from work? Ooh, have you had a good day at work then? As good as can be. Oh, if I recall this enemy, this boss is a bit of a bullet to fight. Oh well, we'll just wing it anyway. I scared them off. Come around, let's just leave them alone. They can flee if they want to. Yeah, we should be good to go. I do not know what this thing is. Probably have to destroy it. Fortunately, having to deal with it means straight up DPS loss. Uh-oh. Yep, that's a very bad. Ow. I don't know if I should be destroying these ads. Or if they're gonna be in trouble if I don't. I think it's gonna be trouble if I'm not actively taking out the ads. The issue is that it doesn't leave me a lot of time to actually fight the big thing. I'm stuck. Bran, heal please. I mean, the big thing is taking damage. Oh yeah, they buff it. They buffed the big thing. So I definitely do have to defeat them. Then maybe just try to focus on doing some AoE while they are not buffing it. It's gonna take a while too. Do not stand in the big purple swirly thingy. That's probably not a good idea. Oh. Okay. It's fine. This is intense. What does it actually do? It increases the attack speed when it's buffed like that. I'm stuck. I remember this is why I did not like this boss fight initially. Because you get stuck so easily. In corners and such. Uh-oh. And obviously getting stuck is not a good thing. Yep. You're hiding like hell. Fuck yeah, we did it. Relics of the old gods.
I'll give you a hand with this one.
Oof. That was intense. Hang on. Does this command actually work? One way to find out. It does seem to work. Because that could definitely be a good thing to clip, I think. It's actually kind of funny because like the what's it called? The stream thingy. The quick actions, that's what it's called. The clip that button on it doesn't work for me for whatever reason. Did it impress you? Oh, thank you. I did my best. Mind you, I'm also severely underleveled. By like 20 item levels at the very least. So I think I haven't even put enchantments on my things. I would say I did pretty well. Oh. And we got an item we actually do need. Small issue, however, is that I wanted this to be the like a crafted item instead, but I mean, until I get that item, might as well. Yeah, I'm super excited for the GPU. It probably won't be here until like 2 weeks or so, because they did not have it in stock, but I can wait. If it meant like saving, I don't know, about 60 euros, that's perfectly fine with me. Let's see, Mr. Curiosities now have a 40% chance. I think they have maybe 20% right now. Finally, we're getting an upgrade for this one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. What's all this? Another upgrade.
Nice find.
And the final gilded crests. You actually only miss upgrading one more of the curios in the combat section. Huh. That means I'll be doing a lot of delves. Am I ready to leave? Yes, I am. Alright. So, we need to do one more delve. And we don't actually need to do that on a tier 11. That would just be for bragging rights. Do we do the Underkeep or... I'm actually not sure if I complete the Excavation Site 9 at all, but we have some quests we have to do down here anyway, so... Might as well. That was the quickest way to get there. Yeah, probably this way. But yeah, the realm reset is in like, I don't know, 26, 28 hours, something like that. So I have tomorrow to play it as well, of course, but I just kind of want to finish up all the weeklies on this character, so... Because then I can do things on other characters. I am an alcoholic. It is no secret. I pretty much have a max level of every single class. Of course, some I play more than others, but for instance, my primaries would be my mage and my druid. But for role playing, I primarily play a paladin, even though I'm not very knowledgeable about paladin related things. I just want to be a goth paladin. That's the entire reason I wanted to do that. And then I have a hunter as well, which has been with me ever since I started back in Cataclysm. Then I also have a priest. Yeah, this way. I always get stuck in this little cave here. Surprisingly, I have actually not been playing a whole lot of Warlock. I have one maxed out in level, but I haven't been playing them too much because I really love the class fantasy about it, because I mean, you make pacts with demons and you harness demonic powers. Like I mean that's pretty fucking cool. But at the same time, some of the specs just kind of feels like mage, but just slower. Harder hitting, mind you, but slower. Oh, that looks ominous as fuck. Alright, let's just go ahead and do... Oh, tasks. I have no idea what we're actually supposed to be doing. Blood slime's cleaned. Like so. You get cleaned as well. That field and cleaning slime means it explodes. Or slime. See, what's the thing that's... So do you have any idea how hard it is to get dried blood stains out of your laundry? Well, you might, I guess, considering the fact that I've killed more than 100,000 people. Yeah, I know how to get blood out. In game, mind you, not in real life. I've not killed anyone in real life. In game. Steamwell's finalists are working on a new detergent specifically formulated to deal with this pressing issue. And while the blood fields in the ring deeps might be bad for the environment and you, they're the perfect place to field test our latest formulation. Just get the blood slimes out there quick. Host down and let's know what happens. Okay, so the quest is basically about trying out a Goblin certified laundry detergent on slimes. That does sound very goblin to me. And of course it has very varying effects. Such as making them explode. Alright, that's one quest down. Lost Goblin Rescue. So we have to rescue some goblins as well. The Land of Purple indeed. I'm supposed to rescue goblins, but I can't find any. Oh. No goblins to rescue. Task completed. I don't think they'll take that as an answer, though. It's also the rocket board. Getting a feeling of deja vu here. Like we did this quest when we initially started the Undermine storyline. There we go. Let's see, what does it even say? It says, sounds like the old black blood pipes in the ring deeps are falling out, but we haven't figured out how a solution for all the goo they're packed with just yet. A few more budgetary meetings though, and we're on it. In the meantime, we earmarked a little cash for some temporary help. That's you. I get money. Get out there and freeze those pipes. Wow. I am basically saving the ecosystem here, and they give me like 23 gold for it. Ah, goblins. Let's see, collect Darkview's research notes. Darkview was up to all sorts of questionable research out in the Ring Deeps, and, well, everywhere, really. Anyway, they had to write some of it down. Not whatever notes you can find and bring them back to me. Don't look at me like that. It's not intellectual dishonesty. It's industrial espionage. You know what? That's not my business to get involved with. I'm just a mercenary. They told me to go do things, I do it. No questions asked. I mean, if you look at 23 gold in terms of like the role-playing aspect, and I mean 23 gold is a lot in world money, but in game money it's nothing. I think it's barely enough to fix your armor. Some workers forced by the Darkviews to work at the Bloodfields never made home. We got reports that they might be lost in whatever the unseeming is. Apparently it got something to do with the big blood puddles. Sounds like a job for someone more expendable, I mean experienced, than me. Did I just call me expendable? I mean, I have almost 63k gold, and that's not a lot, honestly. Like, it's enough for what I need it for. But there we go. We need to get 25 stacks of unseen before we could see the small lost goblins. What do you mean keep tentacles? I don't have any tentacles. Silly goblin. But yeah, it's definitely like when if you create a new character and you start out, 2 gold is also quite a lot until you reach level, I don't know, 70 or something like that, I think. Or maybe 20, not quite sure. It kind of starts to feel like it's a bit of a more or less exponential growth in terms of money, but... But like, in lore, gold piece is a lot. So getting 23 gold is actually a very handsome price. That's the thing, like, when minerals in the auction house costs 50 to 60 gold per piece, well, then it's not a lot. But hey, it's better than nothing. So I'll take it. And I guess the real reward is actually the reputation you get as well. I feel like that's probably the real reward for this.
I don't have a target.
I don't feel like I'm doing a whole lot for rescuing, considering the fact that I've kind of tried to kill half of the people I was supposed to save. In self-defense, mind you, but... They would tip me for saving them, but a monster ate their wallet. Well, that's a shame. I attacked the wrong thing.
I need to target something first.
This one, and there's only one more left to save. Oh, I actually still have not even done the raid yet. I probably should give the raid a go tomorrow at some point. If I have the time. But I don't usually stream Tuesdays because I have other things going on Tuesdays, so I do not usually stream. Maybe I just do the raid in my own time, but I don't know. Kind of feels like a lot of pressure to do the stream, I think. Not stream the raid. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. And people can be quite mean in game. I just kinda like not sure I want to deal with that, honestly.
I don't have a target.
They have some notes of them. They have one note. Okay. Yeah, same. I feel like I don't mind doing group content with people. I also don't necessarily mind doing it with strangers, per se. I mind doing it with people who are just plain rude and expect you to be the best of the very best at whatever you do, when it's literally just casual gameplay. And that is most of the people that are trying to perk raids. I did the raid of the first season, or rather I tried to. I found after 45 minutes or something like that of trying to find a group, I finally found one that would let me in, despite not having done the raid at all before. Mind you, all this is normal, it's not heroic or anything, it's just normal. And they're like, oh, you haven't already cleared this on heroic? We don't want you then. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then we did fairly well throughout the raid. Like, we got all the bosses down first try. Some of them were a bit messy, but I mean, we got through it. Second to last boss we wiped because someone did something they should not do. But that's perfectly fine. People are learning. And then half the raid just left because we wiped exactly once. So yeah, that's why I don't run into raids with huts, because it's just a matter of like, you have those elitists who just end up trying to waste everyone's time if people do not do everything perfectly. And like, if you are that kind of elitist, I mean, go join a guild that focuses on that, but at the same time I can understand why you haven't found a guild, because clearly you're not a nice person to be with. Nobody wants to play with you if you're like that, so... But I mean, of course, people have different values in games, and that's perfectly fine. But there is just, especially in... But that's the thing, like, raids are, like, they're cooperative by nature, so why is it that some people see your fellow players as obstacles in cooperative play rather than considering them as, you know, allies? And I'm not saying that if you want to create a group for hugging people and you say like, hey, we expect people who join to have experience who've done this before, well, that's perfectly fine. I mean, then you say that's what you expect and stuff like that. But if you make a group and you do not specify that, I mean, then you kind of need to give people a chance to actually learn things. And there's been so many guilds, like actually all the guilds I have been in have all said, hey, you need to have the Deadly Boss mod if you want to raid with us. Here's a little secret. I always performed very well. Not necessarily the best of the best, not saying anything like that, of course. But I always did fairly well with mechanics and everything. I never had Deadly Boss mods installed. Nope, that's not supposed to click that. Yes, instead of relying on having... I mean, don't get me wrong here, there's nothing wrong with using Deadly Boss mods. It's just not for me, because it's actually confusing me more than it's giving me any kind of benefit. And for me, I also just kind of like want to be able to just pay attention to the fight. That's part of the reason I really enjoy myself. And if you use Deadly Boss mods, it's just kind of like everything, like you start to play the timer instead of the boss fight, basically. And I can understand for like maybe some high tier play, it makes a lot of sense probably, but for casual raiding, nah. Of course, if you do need these things to feel like you're doing well, I mean, no shame in that, of course. But also don't tell people they should have it if they do well enough without it, because it's confusing me that I just keep having that something that just like goes every single time anything happens. It's just confusing to me. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna get it. Oh, but then you don't get the countdowns. Hey, 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 hey! Look up here. There's the countdowns. Oh, but what if the boss is casting something? The boss has a cast bar. I will, however, say though, I feel like during and before World of Warcraft, they did not have quite as much user experience design involved in boss fights. So again, I wouldn't say it was required, but it was definitely very useful to have the debug mods before that. But now it just kind of feels irrelevant, to be honest. Because all the information it gives you is already there. The only difference is that it tells you, do this thing now. Which I don't personally find very fun. But yeah, I don't really use any mods apart from role-playing related mods, because I do enjoy role-playing once in a while. Just hang out in Stormwind or whatever and just do some role-playing, it's fun. And you kind of need to have some mods. Oh, you don't need to have mods for it, but I'm about to die. But it makes things easier because you kind of get to... Ow. Should have picked up that potion. Because if, for instance, it allows you to set your character name and stuff like that, which is very nice, and you can also fill in a small backstory or some details about your character. It's super nice. So it's kind of like expected that you have that if you're going to roleplay, but of course it's not a full-on requirement if you're just doing casual roleplay with random people in Stormwind City. And actually also, I forgot, I had to turn the mods up because the add-ons caused some issue with something apparently. But I found a very nice mod that allowed, like you can see, the name of my character here is Thalia Cinder. Which is not very nice to read in quest text and such. So let me actually just turn them on just because I want to. Because now I notice now it bothers me. But now I turn some add-ons on and... Behold! The name changed. And I think that's so much better because that just gives you that feeling of this is actually a character in a role-playing game. This is my D&D character basically. Stuff like that. Because now you have your name and stuff instead of it just being a unique username that you probably had to make a lot of compromises for just to get a name that's somewhat similar to what you wanted. So I think that's very nice. And I have also in the past used LVUI to kind of give a complete overhaul of the UI. And I will say LVUI did look very nice, but at the same time it was a bit of a hassle to set it up. I felt so it's kind of like, nah, don't want to bother doing that. Because vanilla works fine, so why change if it's not broken? Before they made changes to where you can like actually move the action bars and make presets for that too, I would say it was way more, like, it had a lot more uses because you could actually customize your UI as you wanted to, and you could not really do that a lot with the vanilla, but you can do that now. And usually when I'm healing, I have the like the health bars of all the party members down here, because that allows me to basically always just look at where's my character standing, and then also be able to look at the health of people. But as a damage dealer, nah, I don't care. I'm just blasting. We don't need to look over here though. But yeah, I just feel like Deadly Boss Mods is overrated, to be honest. If it helped you, perfectly fine, but for me it just feels overrated. Everything hurts. It also hurts the enemies quite a lot, at least. But everything hurts, including me.
I don't have a target.
Okay.
Found a bit of gold!
I actually have no idea what I'm actually doing in this stealth. I'm just like, oh, there's something I can kill there. Let's go kill that. Not good, not good. I have no idea what that was, but I definitely know what's to stand in it. So many things happening. I'm very happy I upgraded my computer for this. The Oracle probably still handle it, but it is definitely running smoother. Where's this thing even coming from? It must be from the pipes or something. I don't know. This way then? I don't see any more enemies. Enemies. This way then. When in doubt, find something to murder. That's always a very good option. Oh, that's a very tough enemy. Let's try to get rid of the small one here first. Why is it not dying? Please perish. I have no idea what's happening. But it's very close to dying. Finally. Like, I thought it would be nice and easy to kill one of the other enemies before we took on the elite, but somehow that snake flying eel thingy was almost tougher than the elite. I do not understand. Then again, I am fighting old god void related things. I don't think I'm supposed to comprehend anything here. It's still hit.
I need to target something.
But one thing I definitely have noticed in a lot of the raids I have been running is when you look at people as a healer. Like as a healer, I look a lot at what people are doing because I'm kind of looking at why you're taking so much damage. Are you standing and shit? And usually the answer is yes. But one thing I have noticed is that a lot of the people who play very mindlessly are also always using weak auras and TPM and a lot of other things. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, clear that's not working out for you. Even though they get bombarded with alerts and they even have things that make the characters say things like
I need a target.
I can't count. 135, good job, I can't count. Like, they straight up have things that does that for them in raids when they have certain things on it. And then they just still mess up every single mechanic. Like, what are they doing? With that said, like by saying that, I do not mean that you need to know every mechanic perfectly before even going into a raid. I'm all for learning on the job, basically. But basically, like, knowing which things you should stand in and which things you should not stand in, especially when you have a mod telling you what to do and what not to do. Well. That's something I think I shouldn't. Speaking of. And obviously I make mistakes as well in raids. I'm not infallible, at least. But at least I try to figure out, oh, this was a bad thing to do. I should not do that again. Oh, some people just straight up don't learn. You just have your rotation down per character. Yeah, same for me. But there's some rotations that I'm not that familiar with. Like, for instance, Fire Mage. This is just my bread and butter. I know everything about how to play this proper, at least at my level, and I find it very, very fun. I know exactly what I'm doing. But then if I go over to something like a Warlock, which I'm not very familiar with, I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This thing does huge damage. I press that button. Cheers. Yeah, I will actually say I was very hesitant to even play Paladin. I tried a little bit of a trial character in, I think it was Legion, or maybe maybe both actually. And they just felt so slow to me, so it's kind of like, yeah, I don't really enjoy playing this. Because it was something like every time you... Why do these deal so much damage? Like, after every single ability you cast, you had to just kind of wait around before the next ability was ready to cast again. And I don't particularly like that. In a sense, it's just basically reverse cast times. Like, cooldowns and cast times are literally the same thing, just reversed. But things have definitely changed, because, I mean, when I finally, based on the dare, created a paladin, also partially for role-playing. Help. Retribution Paladin is actually quite quick, I realized. There's always something to press. Except maybe like there's a little bit of like very short downtime occasionally, but I mean, it's nothing compared to what I used to. I do not know about the healing spec, and healing has that issue if you're trying to do combat with it though. But I mean, you're a healer, so you're not expected to be doing combat well. Ow. That hurt. You're expected to heal. Some of the healing you do is based on actually hurting the enemy, which I like. But yeah. Wait. There's things. I missed the chest over here. So, I actually end up quite enjoying playing Retribution Paladin. At least when leveling into quests and delves and such. Because it actually felt pretty good to play. There's always something proccing, and you always have something to press. If anything, I actually feel like Feral Druid is something I've been playing for a long time, like basically since Cataclysm as well. Compared to my mage, which actually didn't start until Pandaria, I think. Druid I actually played a lot of back on Pirate servers, and I guess a kid before my parents allowed me to even get World of Warcraft. My brother and I played a ton of trial accounts, and also ended up just playing a bit on some private servers. And I would always play a Druid, especially a Feral Druid, because cat. And I still play Feral Druid and Resto Druid. But I actually feel like there's a lot of cases where suddenly you just run out of energy as a Feral Druid, and you're just kind of like standing there like, oh, now I have to wait. Rogue's a bit the same issue. Usually you have some things that can give you that energy you're missing, but... Uh-oh. This might not be good. Or maybe it is. But one thing I actually found very, very enjoyable, I used to raid with a guild back in Dragonflight, where I was one of the main healers for raiding as a druid, Resto Druid. And what I did was that I used a play style called cat weaving, which is, you know, of course still primarily a healer, but you also blend in cat form. Because I had a talent that made sure that whenever I dealt, how exactly is it? I think I changed it. But whenever I used a finisher, for every single point of finishing point I used, I would regain mana. So that's very useful. And you also it's actually kind of funny because the base damage numbers for a Resto Druid are higher than a Feral Druid, which is kind of fun. But of course, you gain a lot more by playing Feral Druid, because you have, like, I mean, you can sustain the damage longer. But as a single burst, it was actually kind of the same damage as a cat. As a cat weaver, so it's here. Also, there's a lot of tentacles here, and I do not know why. And it scares me. But there's just something about just stand there healing, and then suddenly you just turn into a cat, charge at the enemy, and then you just slash and bite and make them bleed, and then you bite them, and then you go back to healing. I love it. It is very demanding though, because if you mess up the rotation when you jump into cat form, you're gonna mess things up a bit. And of course, as a healer, if you start to do that and something bad happens and you're supposed to be healing but you can't heal because you're suddenly a cat, well, that's not ideal. It's very dangerous. They're not like... But yeah, cat weaving is fun. And I mean, it all depends on which talent you have for it to even be viable. Because of course you need the talent that makes sure that you can actually regain your mana by using finishes. Otherwise it's kind of pointless to even do it to begin with. And then you also have to take a talent that gives you... There is a thing called... what's it called? Aspect of the Wilds or something, I think it's called. Which is a a cooldown you can use, but you could get a talent that whenever you switch into a, like, it doesn't matter if it's bear or card form, or even Moonkin form for that matter, you get a bonus based on the form you switch into. And the bonus for going into cat form is that you start to regain your focus quicker, and you also can generate more finishing points and everything. So if you do not have that ready, and I think it has like 1 minute cooldown after using it, but if you do not have that ready, well, you probably should not be entering cat form at all, to be honest. Unless you need the speed boost from it. But it gives that very nice thing about, you just have like once every half minute or minute, something like, I don't recall the cooldown on it. You can just turn into a cat and deal insane burst damage to just... I don't really have damage meters on usually, but when you see the damage meters, you just kind of like see suddenly the healer's just kind of like boop, popping up. Which is so funny. But yeah, I would definitely say that I'm main healing in raids and dungeons and such. I am a main healer. But I can't heal as a mage, so... so it's a fireball. Yeah, cat weaving is so epic. Oh, what's that? But it is very hard to pull off proper. You can of course also, instead of using cat form, you can also use like you can make sure that you're like you use Moonkin form instead, which makes a lot of sense because you don't really lose out on the ability to cast your healing spells. You will still go out of the Moonkin form, but it doesn't really change a whole lot. Because, well, I mean, you still just kind of use the same bar, and you can still cast all the spells and everything. Oh. I don't think... I think I played maybe half an hour of Star Wars The Old Republic several years ago. So, I think the answer is no. I find it very intriguing though, because it's a Star Wars MMO, right? That's what I think it is, at least. I don't think we have to go for a swim in this water. There we go. Oh. I think I should just have to go fight the boss now. But yeah, I mean, I've been around in the MMO scene. World of Warcraft has and will always be my poison. I think maybe there's also just some sunken cost fallacy in regards to that. But I used to play quite a bit of Guild Wars 2 back in 2014, something like that maybe, 13, well, like that. I also played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online when that just came out. I played a bit of WildStar when that was popular. For that short time it was popular. What else? Played a bit of TNT Online. So yeah, I've been a bit around. But Star Wars The Old Republic, can't say that's one of the things I can add to my list, unfortunately. What are those tentacles doing? Am I supposed to hit the tentacles or the big thing? Oh, this would have been a perfect place for a meteor. What's the plan? Where's the healing?
Hey, be careful.
This is fine. Okay.
I need to
Wrong
get
way.
this.
What the hell, this boss? There's a lot of things going on. I need that. I think I want to get rid of the mind eye thing because it's doing something to me and I don't like it. It's slowing me. Ow. Did not like that at all. Okay, good. Then we take out that tentacle. I'm very happy I did not do this on a +11. Uh-oh.
I don't have a target.
Okay. There's so much going on. Ah. And that thing... The mouth tentacle thing is the one that's causing fear. Oh. Now there's not a lot of things going on anymore. I'm just standing here like, oh, that it? This feels so surreal. I did it! Bloody hell, that was intense in the beginning though. Nice. Wait, how does my vault actually look? Tier 11, tier 10, love to see that. I'm gonna get some heroic gear. That's a very huge temple. It now contains 2 of the caracolas. That's nice.
More like it.
And it's fully upgraded. What's this? A new ring. I want that. I'm a little bit sad that it gives him crit though, but that's okay. Because I mean, I think I have enough crit already. 36%. I think that's enough.
Now I'm making progress.
Got something else. Letter gloves, can't use those. I mean, I could send them to a different character, but nah.
That's more like it.
What am I missing? All of these are filled. Uh-huh. Never used that one. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is heightened structures, so they've been built by very, very large people as well. For large people. there's never enough crit. See, I'm inclined to agree because I mean it's always nice to have more crit, but at the same time you eventually do kind of reach a point where it doesn't really matter that you have that much, and I kind of want to I want more mastery. I'm fine enough in regards to haste because I have this thing. So like I just randomly get haste. I just randomly just get set on fire sometimes, which you know, when you're playing with fire that happens sometimes, I guess. But mastery is very nice. But I don't know why I always end up getting so much crit. It's insane. I think isn't there... Like if I remove this, maybe it's properly balanced, but there's no point in removing that.
What? I'm working.
Alright, let's hit 2 undermine and just hard in the quests. Be right back. Okie dokie. Oh, I'm getting tired.
What's cooking?
Let's see.
I'll shake that right up.
I am maxed out on Valor Stones. Not ideal.
Always
I don't really
read the
use them,
label.
so...
Shaken, not stirred.
Watch it out there. Keep safe.
Alright. Wait, if I'm looking at my gear, I think everything should be champion. Except for the Hans, that's not champions here. Or higher than this. Champion, crafted gear, but I think low hero? Hi Lion's Rest. Lion Jest, I think. Welcome in. How are you doing? Let's see. Champion, crafted, special, champion, veteran. Okay. Hero, champion, adventure. Damn. That's terrible. Card's fine. I see. I think it's pretty well. We just finished quite a few delves, such as some tier 11 delves. And we also just did the, what's it called? Excavation Site 9, I think it's called, on a tier 10. The shoulders also need to be upgraded. And this one. Okay. But yeah, we're just chilling with some delves and some quests. Just trying to finish up the weekly challenges on this character so I can do something else tomorrow. Not just maybe trying to raid, maybe not. I don't know.
You are acknowledged.
Get this. Don't need this. Right, and then here.
Inquiring minds just got to know. The truth is out there.
Put that down here. This goes down here. Okay. Did I get enough to actually craft the item I wanted. Let's see. Would be a recraft of this. Right, I need this. Can I get it there?
I have calibrated my prices to be
I can.
reasonable. My thing.
Let's go craft that thing then. See, what else do I need? We are missing 2 duskweave bolts. Should be able to craft that actually. Duskweave. Oh. I cannot. Let's just purchase some then. Might as well.
I have an extended supply of goods for
Duskweave.
outlanders.
Just purchase these.
My
I kinda hate having to purchase them when I can just craft them myself if I do a bit of farming, but I want it now.
It's too far away.
Alright, let's see. Click this, and this, and that. There we go. I got a bit higher item level. So that's good enough, good enough, good enough. It's basically just a trinket I need to get a new one on this side, and then what's it? Head and shoulders. And back. Okay. Head and shoulders and back. Yeah, maybe I should just get some washing gel or whatever.
You'll find
Wait.
me where
It's not Bran I'm supposed to speak with. It's these guys.
what do you seek?
Can I even upgrade this? I can. Hang on, just out of curiosity. Give me the wrong stat. 69% haste. Nice. That's what I call spell slinging. I want to see how much crit I could get if everything lined up. I think earlier today actually I got a lot of different, like I got the buff from the item here, the haste buff from that. I got the haste buff from Time Warp, and I got the haste buff from my set items here. And I ended up apparently having 123% haste somehow, which is rather insane. Fire magic definitely went blasting. I want to see how much crit I can get. I definitely have too much already, that's obvious, but I want to see how much else I can get. I don't know what to do about it, because I mean, I have not in any way, shape or form tried to even get crit. Like as you can see, these have haste versatility on them, for instance. The crafted items. This one happens to have crit on it. These are not enchanted, but just so happen to be with crit and that. 48% crit. That's a lot. And knowing my luck, I was still not critting on anything, even with that much. And I think, I mean, the thing is I have 36% crit just naturally, but I think I have some things here, like for instance your spells have 5% increase, so technically all my spells have 41% crit chance, just naturally. I think there's actually even more things to do something similar, but not certain. But it was definitely a problem to have that much crit, I recall, when I was raiding in Dragonflight. So I wanted to double check the cat weaving stuff, because I was curious how exactly it works. Let's see, am I in healing? There we go. Also, this is my main, my druid. That's horrible. I need to fix that. Hang on.
Punches, lucky doos and roots.
There we go, much better. Like a ding dong. But yeah, let's see. How exactly is it cat weaving works? You need this thing. That's very important. Let me just actually find the training terminals. I don't recall where they are. Over here. Not those. Look, fashion is very important. Yeah. Alright. So, important things if you want to do cat weaving. First of all, we have Heart of the Power, that was the thing it was called. Abilities not associated with your specialization, in this case restoration, are substantially empowered for 45 seconds. So, as a cat form druid, I will gain 1 combo point every 2 seconds while in cat form, and physical damage is increased by 20%. That's really good. Then we have this thing. This is kind of not necessary to have, but it's very important. Like it's very nice to have, because it basically just means that instead of having to go into cat form, have a cooldown and then attack, I can just straight up just yeah,
Too far away.
in one thing. Also, look at this. I can apply a damage over time that deals 1.2 million over 24 seconds. And my Ferocious Bite deals 500,000 damage at 5 stacks. It's a lot of damage. Of course, if you're doing cat weaving, you want to increase your physical damage abilities and Ferocious Bite and more damage. That's just a druid talent you need. Of course, all the cat related abilities as well. On the healing side, you definitely want this one, because your abilities are amplified based on your current shapeshift form and granting an additional effect. So Raw Starfire deal additional damage and regenerate some mana. In bear form, Iron Fur grants you additional armor and regenerates some mana. But in cat form, notice how Rip, Ferocious Bite and Maim deal 60% additional damage and regenerate a huge amount of mana when cast at 5 combo points. That's very good. Oh, right, this one is also, I mean, you kind of need this to get down here anyway, but you get some additional stats, like more crit just for being in cat form, or just haste by not being in cat form. And this one means you retain it, so I still have 5% additional crit for a little bit longer. There we go, it's vanished. crit, and I also have more haste now, I think. Maybe? Not sure how that actually works. But I maintain the crit at least. For a little bit while. So even just going out of cat form helps me heal better. It restores mana, which is super important, obviously. And there's one thing more, but I don't... Yeah, this one. Call of the Elder Druid. When you cast Star Surge, Rage, Shred, or Friend's Regeneration, you gain half the wild. That's this thing. For 15 seconds. But it has a 1 minute cooldown. So that means when I jump into cat form, I get this. So now suddenly I can very easily max out. I already messed up the rotation bit, but I can easily max out my my things, my combo points, do some nice damage, and then just pop back out again. And that is cat weaving. Now include this, of course, with being in a huge amount of stress because people are dying and there's things happening. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Oh, also, fun thing. I love that so much. Oh, I can't imagine if I actually had the thing. But if you also have had the wild, I mean, it's on cooldown now, but I can just still activate it again. So if it's not required for me to heal in quite a while, well, I can just for a whole minute more or less, I can just go just combat mode. And there's just some numbers here. So I mentioned like 1.4 million for RIP. If I go into feral mode once I'm no longer in combat, oi. Out of combat now, I think. There we go. $1.2 million. So the damage is basically the same, if not ever so slightly higher actually, as a Restoration Druid. Which is a bit fun. That I actually deal more damage in cat form as a Restoration Druid than I do as a Feral Druid. Of course, I can sustain it for a lot longer. Like, it's a burst damage in Restoration mode, but it's of course better maintained here because you have some proper regen and you have things like Tiger's Fury. You have things to make sure this procs and such. So, but definitely do not underestimate card weaving. It is very fun. I love it at least. Also random lightning. And as a cat druid, you can also, like, you can't really do a lot of weaving with that. You can get some talents that makes you a fairly good, oh shit, the tank died, let's do a backup thing. You can kinda do that if you have the micro wild thing, but it doesn't work quite as well. But yeah, cat weaving is so fun. It gives you something to do as well. Like, I mean, when I was raiding in Dragonflight, we had some other very good healers in the team as well. So, and the thing is, we had a shaman and a holy. I think it was a holy or disc priest. Regardless, the discipline priest is about damage mitigation through shields primarily, and the holy priest is, well, just high instant healing. Shaman, that's also just high instant healing, basically. Druid healers, on the other hand, we have a lot of heal over time effects. So the thing is, oh, someone's hurt, I'm just gonna put my restoration on them and then they'll be fine. It's fine. Like, Yeah, there you go. They can take care of themselves now. Yeah, it's a hot, not a dot. Like you just pop those things and then they'll be fine eventually. But then I am like, oh, here you go, you're taking damage. Now you're fine. But then the other healers just start healing them anyway, and it's like, oh, okay. So my overhealing was always insane because it just kept on like, you know, kept on healing them even though the others healed them back up full. So I would honestly just spend a lot of time as a healer just in cat form. Because, well, I did need my healing anyway, so might as well just bite them. But see? 1.5 million. But I still really love this so much. I did not look quite as flashy this time too, but I love it. But yeah, that was Arazeena's cat weaving 101 guide. I love it so much. I do actually recall my old guild invited me to do a Animatorsil heroic. I think it was heroic, maybe it's mythic. I think it's probably heroic run after everybody had already gotten fairly decent gear in the war within. So it was definitely not really an issue, and we were only like 7 people instead of like doing a 10-man run of the Amatorsil. Because, you know, we're basically expansion later than that, so our gear is just better. And for some reason they decided that, yes, you know, you're fine with solo healing this, right? And it's like, yeah, why not? Because, I mean, we are 10 levels higher than the raid expects us to be. We have hero talents, we have higher gear and everything. It should be fine. But then I remembered just how healer intensive Amatorsil really is. It was so stressful to be solo healing that. Even when you had like when damage was not really much of an issue, there were still just so many things you have to do as a healer in that raid. But it was just so stressful because it was not so much about keeping my allies alive, it was more so having to do everything else in the raid. And then, of course, because I mean I was not in the guild anymore after that because I had left it. So they were just kind of like teasing me a bit as well when we, like all in good fun, of course, when we're doing that Amatorsil run. So just kind of like, oh no, I'm standing in the fire. And I was like, get out of it, please. It was good fun. Bit stressful, but good fun. There's a fellow owl. Yeah, they were just... Yeah, I mean, I used stress very, very loosely in this. It was... Like, if there had been 2 healers, it would not have been any issue at all. I mean... We did it, even with me solo healing it, so it's not that bad, but... There were definitely some points where it's just kind of like... Oh, I have to handle the work of 3 people by myself. Oh dear. But... Hey, we did it. Eventually. Oh, I also just realized something actually. Remember how I said it was 2.5 million, 1.5 million? I'm actually using agility things. So in reality, it's higher. Where's my staff? 1.9 million. And mind you, this staff is actually worse than this, so yeah. The damage you deal as a restoration cat druid is actually a lot higher than you do as a feral. In burst, at least. You can't maintain it, of course, but But fun fact. It's always just so fun whenever I was just cat weaving, and if they were definitely, especially if there were periods when I did not have to heal a lot and I could just utilize half the wild fully. There was some time I was like, Cena, why are you that high on the damage chart and you're a healer? How are you even that high? I'm just druid things. I believe that healing is best. Like, here's the thing. If there are no more enemies left to hurt my allies, then my allies cannot be harmed, which means I have done my job as a healer, right? Yeah, I see that logic. Alright, I still need to fix the human there. I swear, one day I will fix it. But it's not this day. Yeah, sound logic. If there's no enemies to hurt your allies, well, job done. I love the big silly owl. But yeah, I would definitely say that the classes I'm most comfortable with would be Druid and Fire Mage. Fire Mage specifically. I have actually never played Arcane Mage. I've dabbled a little bit in Frost Mage, but it just didn't feel as compelling to me as Fire. Not entirely certain why. Because I mean, launching icicles at enemies sounds almost as fun as fireballs, so there's just something about the rotation that's different, and yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it because it's also been a long time since I last tried doing any Frost Mage things. It's hard to put my finger on it, but at the end of the day, I mean, whether you're Frost or Fire or Arcane, it's all just damage dealing specs, so, and they're all also just range damage dealing specs. So it doesn't really matter too much whether you're one or the other, I feel. I think unless maybe you are in like super high level gameplay, like trying to go for world first, then it might matter, but I don't care about that at all, so. So I just like throwing fireballs and lighting things on fire, and that's okay with me. And then I also weave some frost into it, so that's fine. I get the best of both worlds. And then of course Feral / Restoration Druid is my second priority. I've also been doing quite well as a look at being so agreeable. Just why quibble over using Frost to Fire if you can use Frost Fire? Yeah. But it does feel a little bit silly actually that you're just kind of like, oh, now I know all these fire spells, and you change the spec. I no longer know what fire is, but I know how to freeze the world now. And I would say both things are very respectable. Yeah. I was actually considering trying out Frost Mage, but still keeping it Frostfire so I still get the fire aspects, but I think the thing is, Fire Mage is more of damage over time than Frost Mage is. Because Frost Mage has a lot, I mean, if you go down really technical, it is also just a lot of damage over time because you kind of get buffs that automatically launches things at enemies. So that is in a sense a bit of a dot, but I just like the idea that you're setting your enemies ablaze. It sounds fun. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, so that's the Paladin, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the frostbite that just never clicked with me. A lot of things in it sounds very nice, so... Actually, I don't even think I've set it up or anything. Let's see. Yeah, I have not even used it. We will definitely be going Frostfire though. Although spell sending does sound very cool, but I mean fire. Cooldown of fire spells is reduced. Do we even have any? Oh my. Wait, does that mean if I'm into frost spec, then it's frostfire, but if I'm into fire spec, is it then fire frost? That's a good question, actually. Now, let's see, what can we actually get? This, I don't know. I like that spell. We need Comet Storm, otherwise this is worthless. Ice Lance is very important. Frozen Orb launches an orb of swirling ice up to 40 yards forward, which deals up to some frost damage to all enemies. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the primary difference, that Fire Mage is very much focused on... You can still cleave with it. You also have some AoE attacks, of course, but it is primarily aimed at single target or cleaving against two enemies, potentially. But Frost Mage is a little bit more AoE based, I think, just in general. I could be very wrong too. I've never really played Frost Mage proper, so not quite certain. I just know that this is one of the most important spells you have. So let's see. Flurry. Unleash a flurry of ice striking the target. Each hit reduces target movement speed. I mean, obviously it's also not about slowing your enemies down, but when the shield causes target to take damage from its spell as if it were frozen. Okay. Frost Bolt, which in this case is Frostfire Bolt, I hope, has a chance to get Frost Fingers, and so does Frozen Orb, which causes the next Ice Lance to deal damage as if they were frozen. Okay. So, higher crit chance against frozen things. Frostbolt and Icicle have a higher crit strike damage. That sounds nice. Gives you chill effects chance to freeze the target. Haste is increased. Additional damage to Frozen Orb. Resetting Flurry. An Ice Flame Mage, I love that. Those characters of Flurry, Comet, like that. Frostbolt grants Fingers of Frost more often. And Brain Freeze. Yeah. I think Brain Freeze is important as well. I mean, in a sense, I mean, using ice magic has a chance of frostbiting things, so I feel like frostbite is basically just fire but cold. So yeah, it's basically the same thing. Each time blizzard deals damage, the cooldown of frozen orb is reduced. Maybe, I don't know. Increased damage, yep. Definitely need that. Damage from Frostbolt and Flurry increase the damage of your icicles and glacial spikes. I think that sounds good. We definitely need that. Icy Veins duration is increased, we need that. Ice Lance against frozen targets extends it. Don't actually know what Icy Veins does, it's just a cooldown, so. While Icy Veins is active, each Frostbolt you cast reduces the cast time of Frostbolt. Wait, what? Frostbolt reduces the cast time of Frostbolt, okay. I think that's good. Casting Ice Lance and Trick. Wait, let's see, what are the things down here? We have a Ray of Frost, deals more damage, or deals damage to AoE. Each time you consume Fingers of Frost, the damage of your next Ray of Frost is increased. Okay. Conjure a massive spike of ice and submerge your current icicles into it. It impales your target, dealing a lot of damage, plus all the damage from the icicles. And then it freezes the target, and the damage may interrupt that freeze effect though. Oh, that's that though. But Ice Lance no longer launches the icicles. Huh, interesting. Yeah, impale them with frost. Who needs a spear? I got icicles. Cone of Cold's cooldown is increased. Wait, the cooldown is increased. If it hits more enemies, it resets the cooldown of frozen. Yeah. So Cone of Cold suddenly has a larger cooldown, but it does things now rather than just deal low amounts of damage. I'm confused. Yeah, right? I mean, it slows the enemies and deals a bit of damage, but... And it's AoE, but now it also reduces cooldowns of other things by becoming a cooldown in itself. I don't know. This seems very situational. Definitely good for encounters with a lot of ads, I think. Casting 30 Frostbows or Flurries calls down a frozen orb towards your target, hitting enemy player counts as double. That's very good for PvP. But it's also very good for just PvE, so... Ice Phase is active. Damaging an enemy with Frostbolt increases spell damage. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, I do not care about that one. I want these two if possible. Don't know about the other ones here. Kinda want the... I mean... We kinda do need to take Glacial Spikes so we can impale the enemies. Just in honor of Old Vlad. Right, so we take that. Then we take... What's this? Comet Storm now applies Numbing Blast, which increases the damage enemies take by 6%. Ooh! I want that. Flurry has a 25% chance to call down an icy cup. I definitely need this. I think that probably works very well with this. Let's see, an icy comet. Does that count as the comet storm though? I don't know. But basically, whenever we cast Comet Storm, we also get a meteor because of this. And on Fire Mage, it's just basically just the opposite. So now we need this, this, and that. I think. Yeah. Now what else do we need? Makes Blizzard instant and increases damage done. That could be useful. Oh yeah, it's so nice you can just respec so easily. I think the only limitations is that you can't respec at all if you're doing Mythic Plus. I think that's about it. Don't know if you can do it in PvP, I'm not sure. You can't do it in Mythic Plus, that's it, but I mean... It makes sense because Mythic Plus is timed anyway, so... It's not really something I've been delving a lot into. Yeah, Mythic Plus is basically like dungeons, but a bit more challenging. So they scale the dungeons up a bit more based on the difficulty of the mythic level you're going into. And then you also have a timer that becomes more and more strict the higher up the levels you go. But it also gives very good rewards if you manage to finish it. But it's also filled with elitist people who have absolutely no chill for making the slightest mistake, and you have to walk very specific routes, which often means you have to avoid enemies, which seems very silly to me, because I mean... I go into dungeon to kill people. So... yeah, it's filled full of sweaties, yeah, basically. I actually do have a friend who loves playing it, which, I mean, that's not an issue, of course. But every single time he complains about it, he's like, yeah, this is exactly why I'm not playing it. So, yeah. I did do a bit with my old guild too, where it was not sweaty at all. It was just kind of like, we're just here to have fun. If we do not time it, whatever. Of course, we would try to do our best to do that, but... we would not start crying and get upset at people if we failed or anything. It's just, okay, we'll get it next time. And that's how the mentality of people should simply be. Just chill, it's a game. If you fail, well, then it's not like you died in real life. You just try again. Easy. Increase the damage of your ice lances. Don't know. Okay. Why is that here? Hang on. This? Yeah. Holy, I haven't even played Frostmage since before Dragonflight. Would have been Shadowlands since last time I played it. So yeah. Alright. I have no idea how to do anything here. That's just a AoE. We definitely need Comet Storm. This goes here. Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I understand that some people find it fun to be super sweaty and have to just go in and try to pretend that they're professional players. Sure, if that is the fun you're having with like-minded people, sure, go ahead. It's just not for everyone. It's definitely not for me. That goes here. This. Yeah, I don't like being super sweaty either. It's just not fun to me. Of course, whenever I go into any kind of thing. I'm like, okay, if I can win, that's what I'm trying to do, but it's not gonna be the end all be all if I don't. I don't know, this goes somewhere. I have no idea what to do with all my spells. Like that, maybe? I don't know. So, what's this? That's a blizzard. This is my frostfire thing. Now that thing does something. Now I can use this. Then we do that, we can do this. Then we can do that, and then we can call down that. Fire! I like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's a full elemental. What's that doing here? I legit have no idea what I'm doing. We did it, we defeated the dummy. You don't want these kind of blizzards here? The ones that actually actively will kill you? Wonder why. Okay, so my takeaway from this is I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing as a frost mage. But considering the fact that I never actively targeted this dummy, and it's taken quite a lot of damage as well, I mean, there's definitely a lot of just passive cleave happening. The only cleave you really have as a fire mage, in contrast, not back out. Heal faster, please. I guess we can just focus on this. Like, the cleave you have here is the Phoenix Blast, and that's basically about it. You also do end up getting the ignite onto the other enemies, but like, see, it does take 82k every second, which is pretty good, but I mean, of course the meteor as well is also cleave. That's more AoE, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on fire. In a sense, it actually felt like I think maybe that's the thing I've been having a bit of struggle with Frost Mage. Yeah, use some frost to put it out. Oosh. Ooh. I don't know. One thing I noticed when I just tried out the Frost Mage though was that it did a lot of cleave damage between those two. So if you have to do a fight where you have two primary targets, it's probably a very good idea to do Frost Mage compared to Fire Mage. But then again, I mean, if they have a shared health pool, you might as well just do Fire. I mean, more damage, single target, I think. I don't know. But there was a lot of things to press, like a lot of things constantly proccing as a frost mage. That's one thing I noticed. Because I mean, as a fire mage, basically just kind of like have make sure you crit when this is there. You press fire blast, and that's basically it. Then occasionally you get a proc of this that you can just boom. And then once you get combustion, then you're just kind of like I set up, but yeah. However, Frost Mage was just more I'm in combat. Frost Mage just kind of had a lot of things happening, I felt. I know Flurry you're not really supposed to use because it has a very long cast time. Wait, no, it's instant actually. Maybe you are supposed to use it then. Like basically keep all your stacks off of it. Something like that. But I see then Flurry procs, then Ice Lance, then this, which takes a while, then this, and then you're just back to doing this, and then that happens. I don't know, I could maybe get behind this actually. That does look fancy. I don't know. I'm definitely getting the dummies down when I'm doing that. I actually kind of felt like I did not get the dummies down as when I was using fire. Come to think of it. Is Frostmage just higher damage per second or something then? I mean, I'm not using Combustion, but I wasn't using Icy Vein Cider. I also was not using the Comet Storm, so... Oh, that is interesting. It does kind of appear that I just have a straight up higher damage per second as a Frostmage. That's interesting. I just feel so chill when you don't have combustion going though. Okay, that's cheating. Just heal back up to full. So yeah, that took quite a while to just whittle that down. Tries to go into Frost. Let's see. I don't know if it's the Glacial Spike that does a lot of the damage then. Because that is a huge hit. But it definitely feels like I'm dealing the damage quicker. And I'm not even like using any kind of optimal rotation or anything. Huh. Maybe I will play a bit around with Frost Mage then. And try to figure out how that even works. But fire. I'm just tunnel focusing on this now. I got very interested in this. I'm kind of following the same principle here of not using my... Maybe that's the thing, because I had a lot of huge hitters on Ice Mage. But I don't really have that here. Like this is basically the highest hitting thing I have. That's that attack. Then of course combustion, but... I gotta think about this. Because Fire Mage kind of feels like a bit more of a slow burn. Pun intended. Compared to Frost. Interesting. I think maybe if I used Hypothermia. Hypothermia, not hypo. There's a difference apparently. Wait, is it this one? While combustion is not active, consuming hot streak has a low chance to cause all power blast and flame sites to have no cast time for 5 seconds and be guaranteed crits for that matter as well. The issue is just I don't know what I want to change to get that. Because I need Meteor, I need Firefall to get more Meteors. This gives me more crit. I guess I would have to go like this, but I need... I don't know, that's a lot of spell, like a lot of skill points I feel just to get over here. Let's see if we can proc that and see what happens if we do. But it does say a very low chance to even proc it, so... yeah, that kind of felt underwhelming. The primary issue here was the global cooldown. Let's try this again. Get us a proc. Like if you can weave in some fire blasts, but nah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Ah, there we go. Is it this one I have? Yeah. This is definitely something I need to think about. Because on one hand, fire. But on the other hand, Frost just seem to do so much more. Yeah, I gotta ponder this. But that will not be tonight. Or maybe it will actually be tonight in my dreams. I'm gonna dream about slinging frost and fire spells. Yeah, I actually kind of like Frost as well because the thing is, like, Fire Mage is not slow at all. And I feel like I'm actually getting less crits than I usually do. Which is very strange. Wait, hang on. I feel like I'm doing a lot of damage to this dummy. Is that dummy just weaker? But like the moment I get into combustion, that's when the fun begins. That's when it just starts spell sling a lot. But that's combustion. That's my ultimate ability essentially, and the feel I get when I use combustion. That's just kind of like how Frost felt just by being Frost. So maybe I'll have to try that out. I will have to dream about this. But regardless, we have been going on for almost 3 hours, and I actually said this was going to be a shorter stream, but it is not. It's actually fairly average for my standard. Oh well. But yeah, let's see if we can actually raid. Forgot to do that yesterday, so let's see. There is not anyone, so I can raid today actually. Oh well, it's worth a look. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I am on Blue Sky at arazeena.bsky.social. I said it on my own tag. I also have a Discord that people are more than welcome to join if you want to hang out, and also just a place to, well, get notified about news, I guess. I also have a YouTube that I am trying to not neglect anymore, but that's not going too well, but it's there. I am working on some things for it too, so hopefully it will get filled. I'm a big deal. Oh, thank you. I don't think I am, not yet, but at some point I will be. I will conquer the world with frost and fire and cats. Yeah. Oh, thank you. But regardless, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I hope to see you all again next time, which might be on Wednesday, I think. Maybe. Don't quote me on that, it might be. But hey, guess you just gotta follow the channel and join my Discord if you want to know for sure. But yeah. Regardless, see you all next time. Take care, and bye-bye.